Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Starseed Dragon channel. Um, I just got my Llewellyn order, and this is one of the decks that I got. Um, it's my name, so I'm contractually obligated by some unspoken rule to purchase things with my name on it. So, this is The River Sailing the Stream of Consciousness by Nick Bantock, creator of Griffin and Saban, 48 cards and guidebook. Let me read the description on LlewellynCon. It says, master the intuitive language of images. Swim through your subconscious with this stunning deck from New York Times best-selling author Nick Bantock, featuring 48 surrealistic cards that feed your imagination and personal mythology. The river teaches you to think intuitively with images rather than words. In the color guidebook, each card's interpretations are designed to help you find new meanings within each reading. Whether you use this tantalizing, ambiguous deck on its own or with the Archeo, Bantock's first deck, these cards will redefine your response to the language of pictures and expand your notions of magical realism. Beautiful. Now, as you all know, while I'm opening this deck, I've moved recently, and I haven't had hot water for 3 weeks, and it's starting to really agitate me. So, um, if I get cranky, I apologize in advance. Let me just open this up. Get off of there. There we go. This is a nicely sized deck. It's really wide. I mean, it's large like Oracle decks are, and I'm sure I will. I don't think I haven't unpacked yet, so I'm also really cranky at the fact that all of my personal decks are still in a box somewhere because I haven't had the chance to unpack everything yet. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. So, okay, so we have 48 cards and a guidebook, 240-page full color guidebook. Okay, so it looks like Llewellyn kind of took their description off of the description on the back here. Um, it says the exact same thing. So let's open this up. It looks like we've got I love the magnetic boxes. Nicely done, sir. A lynx wanders along a country road searching for answers to larger questions. Beautiful. Now, as you know, I read the descriptions of all of the oracle cards, and I have my handy dandy glasses. I'm actually testing out my webcam to film to record my videos right now because of the setup I have. I live in a much smaller place now, so everything's kind of mushed together. But also, I wanted to be able to use my microphone because I have a better sound quality going through my computer, and also I don't stand the chance of actually um, running out of video time and having to splice things together. But if I'm using my webcam and my camera app on my computer, so win-win, I think. So let's take a look at this guidebook. I really liked the fact that this was an abstract deck. As you all know, I'm also an artist, so I dabble on the abstract aesthetic side. So let's see what we've got. We've got the contents here. I'm trying to get used to where my webcam is positioned here. So we have the introduction. I really wish it wasn't so bright. Nothing I could do. It's middle of the afternoon here, so we have the spreads. Asking specific questions. Okay. Let's see what we've got going on here. We've got the cards. Okay, so let's see. Is this where we start off with the spring cards 1 through 12? Okay. Are we doing seasons? Okay. So that is okay. And let's go through 5. Where are we at here? 12. Okay. Summer, 13 to 24. There. 24. Okay. And then autumn, 25 to 36. This is probably going to be a long read. Well, you all know that my Oracle deck reviews are a little long. And then I'm going to assume, let's not assume, 33, 34, 36. Where are we at here? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Winter, 37 to 48. Okay. And then, is that 48? 48. And then suggested questions. The cycle of the seasons. Final thoughts. Wonderful. Ride the river into a world of extraordinary vistas and beings. Within your mind is a magical stream of images that fuels your imagination and shapes your personal mythology. New York Times best-selling author Nick Bantock helps you to view the moving picture show of your subconscious, teaching you how to trust and understand those inner visions. Following the river's course. All right. So now I got these during the 50% off sale. This 50% off sale on Llewellyn is going on until May 26th, 2025. Let's take a look inside the box again. Lovely, it's got a little string. Set this aside. Put it over here. And so if you want to purchase this, they're currently 50% off for $13.50 in the US. So I will put the link in the description box below, of course. And you know, LlewellynCon is coming up. So I'll put a link to LlewellynCon there for you to sign up if you haven't already signed up for it. And if you have, maybe I'll see you in the chats, right? So let's see what we've got going. We do not have any gilding. It's lovely. The cards are not as wide as the boxes, so that's beautiful. So this is this is the back of the cards. Okay. Very pretty, very abstract. I like that. The cards are a little bit on the thin side, but they're kind of like, it's kind of like tarot paper, you know? They're not overly thick like some of the oracle cards can be. So if you all shuffle like the bridge shuffle or whatever, this might be easier for you to do that with. Although I personally wouldn't do that. I respect my decks too much. So I'm wondering, oh, okay, we do have numbers on here. If you look closely, the top right, they do have numbers. Because I was sitting there thinking, well, there's no words or anything on here. Here's the number 2 on this one. So good. We have a way to resource our guide here. So let me get to number 1. Let me find my glasses and hold on just a second. Okay, I think I've got the camera adjusted enough for you to get a good close-up of each of these. The first card is number 1, the Tumble Hill. Twin pigs wrapped together in a ball are rolling down a slope, squealing with pleasure as they descend. This is the spring of eternal youth, where the sun paints hay bales in gold. The air is pungent with honeysuckle, and the sky is fixed in a brilliant cerulean blue. Tomorrow, who knows? But today we are eternal. Joy is the key word. Number 2, the Green Knight. With restless leaf mold, eyes and a face of lichen, thorn, and frond, the Green Knight does not move. When he exhales, the vaporous mist falls slowly to form the morning dew. He's a scarecrow standing erect in a verdant field, his toes spread throughout the earth, root, acorn, elm, grass, and stem, both man and plant, nature's one and only yin. Empathy. Number 3, the Nomads. How beautiful is this card? I love it. We travel lightly. We travel lightly, treading across the surface of our lives with measured steps, counting our perceived successes and failures, too close to see purpose, too distant to understand any greater context. Across the bridge we crawl, fishing to find better ground, a safer home, and a place where we are accepted for our fallibilities. Aspiration. That's beautiful. These are far more colorful in person, just so you know. This is just not doing it justice on this camera. Number 4, the forest. The veins of the first tree, the great ash, spread until they filled the earth. Its artistries absorbing moisture and discharging nutrients into the soil. With its massive trunk and huge branches, its leaves erupted into the sky, catapulting the seeds that would in time become the forest of Reynard, a labyrinth where Herne the hunter makes certain no humans tread. Nurturing. Number 5, the escape. Interesting. Very, very interesting. The impish child is forever trying to escape, but the old man, resentful of the youth's ambitions, drags the child back by its tail. He has convinced himself the boy would become degenerate if allowed to run free. All the child wants is to get away from the camphor and sulfurous gases that fill the Kabbalist's chamber. Claustrophobia is the key word. I had to stare at that word for a minute to read it. Well, that's beautiful. Number 6, the lightning tree. Thunder echoes in the heavens, lightning flashes, gilding the sky. A tree bows its branch to a fragile lily. Thor's hammer speaks of strength and tenderness, teaching us the ways of humanity. We must learn to reach out and touch others with tenderness, giving the weak and poor their due in solace. Insight. Isn't that lovely? Mm-hmm. As you can tell from the background, Phyllis keeps coming in here. She's getting excited. Number 7, the target. Be not misled. The giraffe was not the prime target. The rifleman was attempting to pick off the parrots, but like so many incidents of this nature, the collateral damage involved the innocent. Had the parrot done anything specifically wrong or significantly wrong? No, it had merely become the obsession of some malcontent's projected resentment and rage. Confusion. Eight, the ephemeral. The ephemeral. A body of slight substance moves gracefully through the courtyard, light against the shade, a darkened shadow against the sun-struck wall. A mercurial nymph gliding past, teasing your vision. If you do not follow it immediately, your chance will have gone, and you will always wonder what it was that you missed. Hope. Number 9, the purple patch. Everything goes well, so much so that you are tempted to doubt your good luck. But not wishing to hex yourself, you keep pushing forward with your ideas. synchronicity reoccurring. It's as if the universe were confirming your every decision. The people you meet energize and encourage you. Do you keep going, or do you cease saying, "This cannot last, enough is enough"? Excitement. Ten, the conversation. She talks to the animals. They speak of all number of things, both useful and mundane. When she was a child, she fell from a tree, landing hard on her side and knocking the wind from her lungs. For days she was tired and dizzy. Then one morning she awoke clear-headed and listening to the crickets through the window and the chickens in the yard. She understood their language. Perceptiveness. Isn't that something? I think it's the light coming through the window that's having a problem with us. 11, the engineer. Oh, this is a pretty card. Shells fill the streets. The screws are unwinding, the floorboards seeping light. Pipes clank and mechanics whisper the sound of the sea while the sirens call from jagged rocks. This chamber cannot be trusted. Soon it will fill with sparrows and mice, and the engineer will come to readjust the spaces between the various parts. Doubt. Number 12, the undecided. Up and down, the two-headed fish rises and falls. A pneumatic Piscine elevator pounding earth and sky. Is there a method to this madness? We are drawn up to the clouds, but having climbed, we grow acrophobic. Acrophobic, and drop back to the security of terra firma. Never content with where we are, the other is always more desirable. Strange, the guilt we feel, even when innocent. Maybe there was more or less we could have done that would have made a difference. Malpractice. And that is the end of the, what is it? That we started off with spring, right? Yeah, spring. So now we're on to summer, 13 to 24. Okay, sorry, I had to get a drink. I didn't want to drink while recording. Okay. Where's the number? Oh, 13 is at the bottom here. 13. The abundance. In a country of opulence, there seems to be enough for all. The produce is ripe, the weather temperate, and the population of both human and animal is passive. Surely this must be utopia, yet a certain disquiet taints the air. What is it that hovers unseen behind the shroud of plenty? And who are the starving urchins crawling through the undergrowth? Deception. Hmm. Number 14, the volcano. With a vicious crack, the mountain splits open, spilling out a babble of meaningless words. The ether is filled with tongues, convoluted documents, statements of intent, manifestos, and tracts of gibberish. Hot air becomes the norm, the language of the politicians, generals, and zealots presides. And yet, when the heat and the mayhem settle, a cool air of tranquility may still blow. Patience. Number 15, the chess game. Well, that is quite the chess game. Let's see if I can maybe. I guess not. Can you see it? It's so pretty. Okay. I'm sitting next to my window. I'm sorry. Once red was the opposite of white, and the opposing colors would be drawn up against each other on the chessboard. Black, or back what, blah blah blah. Back then, the players were different. They were exotic beasts, intelligent and competitive. When they engaged in friendly combat, they would play to win, but if they lost with grace and dignity, and always gave their opponents chocolate. Very important. That is very important. Generosity. That is a beautiful card. So much stuff going on in each one of these cards. Okay, number 16, the Paradise. The oasis so long hidden in the desert begins to take shape. Not a mirage, but a caravanserai, where all are required to lay down their arms and break bread together. Friends and enemies are one in this place. There are no raised voices, no animosity. This is not a matter of choice. It is a reality enforced by the spirits of those who have lived here for thousands of years. Peace. The Samurai, number 17. The old samurai moves with a cold grace. He is stalking the halls of the jackal, hunting death's shadow. This confrontation has been long coming, separated by a cultural divide. Their motivations are diametrically opposites. One delights in taking life, the other in prolonging the soul's longevity. Soon there will be a cornering, and then all hell will break loose. Animosity. Excuse me. Number 18, the Desert Feast. The palm is heavily laden with fruit. It's common knowledge that each duum contains a golden pit. Many try to clamber up the trunk, desperate to pluck the tree's wealth. But the sap is thick and slippery and sends the climbers sliding back down. When all have given up and gone home, a small boy arrives with a long stick and knocks down just enough fruit to feed his family. Humility. Beautiful. These are purple, by the way, just so you know. Beautiful. 19. The Sphinx. A sphinx rises out of the desert. The rough beast wipes sand from its eyes and stares into the sunrise. The palms sway to the west wind. The palms sway to the west wind, whilst all around the desert birds circle, scanning the valley for small motions amongst the reeds. A quake is coming, a rumbling below the surface that might suggest a waking or a second coming for the children of Lux. Rejuvenation. Wow, tongue twisters for me, for sure. This is a lovely deck. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are too. Number 20, the Magic Carpet. Ooh, I don't think I've reviewed a deck that has a magic carpet in it. Looking into the carpet's pattern, scenes begin to emerge. Memories, most real, but some that belong to others from another time and place. This rug has magical properties, not of flight, but of history and insight. Keep staring into it, and gradually the gap between who you are and who you might have been dissolves, leaving you a creature of both past and present. Wonder. Number 21, the dance. The Bougainvillea. The bougainvillea hangs from the walls of the courtyard. The night air is warm. The audience is seated with its cups of sangria and tinto. At the first chord from the guitar, a hush falls, and she takes to the stage. She is part human, part animal, a lithe knot of muscle and grace. Every movement her body makes lifts her spirits and wounds our hearts with an aching desire. Exultation. Number 22, the flight. Out from the furnace it rises, its burnt orange and blue feathers glinting in the sun, miraculously unharmed by the flames. The kingfisher flies north to the mountains. In its beak it grips a tiny pearl, a gift from the bird's mistress, an offer of treaty from the empress. If accepted, 20 centuries of stony sleep will finally pass. Acceptance. How beautiful is that? So pretty. 23. The Empire. Hannibal took his elephants across the Alps, driving them toward the empire's core. Good cause is not enough, nor is willing intent. To succeed where all others have failed requires guile and unconventional thinking. Before challenging any monolithic institution, first pinpoint its weakness, then strike where it least expects. Surprise. "24. The Serpent Angel. The vermilion-winged angel tumbles from the sky, and the white dragon serpent is set free. The heavenly wars have raged for eons with no winner in sight. These gods are indifferent to the suffering of mortals. Their argument is a matter of pride. Nothing short of an all-encompassing victory will appease either. Yet that can never occur, for good and evil are codependent. They require each other to exist." Disgust. And that is the end of summer, and we will begin autumn, cards 25 to 36. Okay, let me just flip you over. "25. The Archway. The streets that surround the archway are clearly signed, but impossible to navigate. The gate's doors are permanently closed, yet are open to all. Those barred are the carrion and the corrupt. Those welcome are the compassionate and the childlike, who love without restraint. Once you have entered through the arch's confines, you will be given sanctuary for as long as you care to stay." Acceptance. Number 26, the Sumato. She slips in and out of the mist, her skin no more than smoked edges, pale as the lily-white swan or the china clay. Her breathing makes pure the air, clearing its pollutants. She has come to give solace to the isolated and the lost, yet she is more than a mere pleasure bringer. She is a sister of mercy and a bringer of luminescence. Desire. Isn't that something? Number 27, the Void. Through the fissure and into the cave, down to the underworld, where the earth is hollow, Orpheus searches for Eurydice. He cannot let her go. His love for her still burns hot, but the descent is too much for him, the sights and sounds too frightening. He turns back from the void, knowing she is gone, accepting that his cowardliness will mean an eternity of contrition, regret. Number 28, the Kraken. A titanic serpent sunk in the ocean's depths has become a kraken of rusted steel, bent and misshapen by the ocean's weight. The passengers are salty ghosts drifting with kelp, green and white, swirling and circling in their lifeless dance. A bell rings, but no waiter comes to collect the order. No chambermaid straightens the sheets. An eerie light penetrates everything and nothing. Desolation. '29. The Horizon. Setting sail, the horizon beckons, promising the new. New lands, new dreams, new air to breathe, and leaving behind the responsibilities and the troubles that hobbled free will and fresh notion. In this floating state between past and future, plans can be drawn up, conjecture can formulate what lies beyond the horizon, painting it in the glory of Turner's palette. Liberation. Number 30, the King's Mate. The king is locked in contemplation, poised to make his move. The queen is in free fall. She has been cast off, slung against a map of the stars. She has lost her gamble for power and may yet lose her head. The fool in motley speaks his mind, as is his courtly right. But his riddles fall on deaf ears. In the tower, 2 young princes await a harsh fate. Threat. These are really beautiful cards. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments. 31, the Celestials. The Celestials are no prudes. They are devoid of those guilts and judgments that haunt petty mortals. These beauteous creatures delight in the sensuality of flesh and wine and live their days in a hedonistic miasma. Some people speak of Ganesh's powers to overcome small obstacles, but the elephant boy knows of no problems, for he understands that they are just anxieties brought on by false concern and self-importance. Trouble-free. '32, the Lonely Child. Devoid of nurturing and affirmation, the child could easily turn cold and callous, but that will not happen. The lonely child will learn to live and love. There is no easy path for those whose loneliness is etched into their hearts. Their maturity is hard won. Yet their journeys through ice and fire will soften and harden, them in equal portion, giving them the gentle gift of empathy, compassion. Mm. 33, the Harpy. Dangerous and dirty, The harpy steals and devours anything it can wrap its talons around. Emerging from the collapse of the Middle Ages, its existence has evolved from the fabric of rotting time. With no heart or soul, it is a dry-skinned harridan, a winged leech that takes schadenfreude from the misery it stimulates. Cruelty. "34. The Battle. The archer at Agincourt is cut off, trapped in a funnel, unleashing arrows at wave. Okay, let me start that over. The archer at Agincourt is cut off, trapped in a funnel, unleashing arrows at wave upon wave of mounted knights. In another century, the hungry man's quest for bread is ignored, so he storms the Bastille. Two perspectives from one rendering, neither capable of seeing beyond the cobblestones and mud, too close to the fray to realize that he has been pitted against himself for millenniums by cabbage kings and the mercenaries of Machiavelli. Resistance. Number 35, the magnet. The social climbers are magnetically drawn upward, wanting more status, more wealth, more notoriety, believing that if only they can draw close enough to the princess, they will become her. And in their ascending scramble, they tread upon those beneath them as if they were the rungs of a ladder, unaware that soon they will inevitably be in descent. Envy. "36. The Bazaar." Isn't that a pretty picture? A golden-headed ass marches through the bazaar. The crowd falls back, nervous that he will brush against them with his robe and turn them impotent. He is headed for the square, passing under the many banners. He's indifferent to the prostinations of all sects and tribes. His only intent is to start a great bonfire of the vanities in the temple's courtyard. Determination. Beautiful. And that is the end of autumn. And now we are going to go over to winter, and that will be cards 37 to 48, so the rest of the deck. So here we go. 37, the Snow Heart. Into the field of snow it bleeds, a heart pierced and broken, but not pumped out. For it has fortitude, and life still beats within its quarters. Do not underestimate its courage and tenacity. The day will come when it grows whole again, and those who dismissed it, saying that it was beyond hope, will find themselves eating their words. Jealousy. "38. The Still Lake." He has come to this quiet place to avoid distraction, hoping that the lake and glade will absorb the city's static that has long clung to his bones. He waits for an insight, a bolt from the blue, a piercing thought, and then it comes, fired by a mathematical muse. All he can do is open himself to her whim. Vulnerability. $39. The universe. Beyond the reach of the naked eye, there are spheres turning in the folds of space. Magnificent wheels are grinding silver sparks out into the abyss. 9 dimensions are twisted, one within another. The universe is manufacturing itself constantly, reworking and reshaping the particles within. The scent of orchids fills the night, saxophones play, and the taste of brimstone lingers on the tongue. Exultation. Number 40, the messenger. At dawn, the skeleton comes from the east. A sun-headed Mercury brings news of a birth. For years, the prophecies have spoken of such an event, and now that it has occurred, no one knows quite what to do. Some say the child must be appeased. Others whisper that he is no threat till he is grown. But all agree a change is coming, and a new order will soon sweep the land. Subservience. Let me just show this one to you up close and personal. Isn't that pretty? This one is number 41, The Last Stand. Isn't that pretty? Okay. I don't understand this camera. Okay. He is the only one left standing. Everyone else was taken by war, famine, and plague. Slowly he mounts the steps of a narrow pillar. When he reaches the zenith, he slides his cane between his legs and rudely gestures toward the smudged and bruised heavens. It is his final statement of rebellion. A gesticulation from the last of a species, acknowledging the absurdity in any idea of progress. Dissent. Deep. Very, very deep. Okay, I'll keep my hand there. Well, I kind of can't. Okay. So, 42. The Reverie. There we go. All right. So you can see my painted hand. In frock coat and vermilion hats, he stands in his country estate, contemplating the good order of things, unaware that the sky has been leaking unruly objects through a small crack in the stratosphere, whilst they are as yet unimportant. In time, they will disrupt the status quo, and he and his kindred will forego their privilege and be cast back into the pile amidst the destitute. Superciliousness. The blind. The blind are leading the blind. Confused and lost, they stumble through a tunnel of night, hunger driving them forward. If they survive, and that's not guaranteed, their eyes will eventually uncloud. Their feathers will sprout, and they will, one day, take to the sky. But till that day, they will be potential fodder for the crows. Fear. Number 44, the road. A lynx wanders along a country road searching for a mate, food, and answers to larger questions. It takes satisfaction from the locomotion of its fine-tuned body, enjoying the suppleness of its limbs and the rhythmical patter of its paws. Too much of a sophisticate to be called hobo or tramp, it lives by its wits and survives by stealth and grace. Restlessness. "45. The chasm. Sun and moon are one, joined at the hip, man and woman, day and night, balanced on the edge of a gorge, within sight of home and hearth, yet separated by an abyss. Are they destined to fall like Icarus twins, or is there some leap of hope they may yet take? Humanity and its greedy inclinations take all of us to the edge of midnight. Panic." "46. The night walker. The moon draws him from his cave and washes his features with a chalky light. It leads him across the wilderness, pulling at his feline blood. Even if he had wished to resist, he would have been unable. Soon he breaks into a trot, and then he is running through the night, bewitched by his lover's luminous face. Rapture." "47. The lost. All he once thought important has become dust. His possessions are given away, his roses transplanted to another garden. Yet there is a rich golden mist swirling around him, and his tenacity remains intact. He has experienced all this before, and he knows that there will be a new awakening on another path in another Eden. Resilience." "48, and our last one. The anatomist. When pared back to the bone, bereft of flesh and feather, he knows so very little. He stares transfixed at the frost. This is the shadowland of the edge of the world. He finds it surprisingly invigorating, and though he did not ask to be brought here, he will make the most of what it offers. He will live each day with the fullness it warrants, loving the sunlight for the gift it is. Gratitude." Isn't that wonderful? Okay, pause 1 moment. Okay, I had to readjust the camera. Alrighty, so there we have it. What a beautiful deck. Very insightful. Really getting some intuitive hits on some of these images. It's shuffling nicely, I must say. It's very light because the cards are much thinner than a regular oracle deck would be made with. And beautiful, beautiful deck. I'm really going to enjoy. I'm going to actually put this under my citron, my orange citron, to soak up some good vibes. What a great little deck. I'm so glad that I got this. If you would like one, I have a link to where I purchased it in the description box below. I also put down a link for LlewellynCon if you want to, if you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it. It's free and they have wonderful speakers every year. I've been attending LlewellynCon since they started, and I think it's been like 5 or 6 years. But it's all online. It's free. They have giveaways. Check it out. I'll put a link to LlewellynCon in the description box below. And who knows, maybe I'll see you in the chats, right? Other than that, if there are decks that you would like for me to review, put them in the comment section of any of my videos, and I'll see what I could do about getting a hold of them and reviewing them for you. But this has been The River, Sailing the Stream of Consciousness by Nick Bantock. Great little oracle deck for me. Check it out. If it's something that has given you interest, go ahead and check it out. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next video.